least one three, third time you guys have done it in a row. What was sort of working from deep, and is that sort of sustainable, you think?
Yeah, they're kind of just leaving us open. They playing all five guys that take stuff out the game. So if you drove and kicked, everybody was shooting open threes, and it was great. We was able to knock them down, make them pay for playing gimmicky defense.
Draymond, you've called Buddy one of your top 5 teammates of all time. What was it like to see him be rewarded and get that opportunity and make the impact that he made tonight? And what can it maybe show other players as far as always staying ready like that?
It's important to stay ready in this league. Your number isn't always called in this league. That's just the way that it is. Usually in this league, you got probably 6 to 7 guys that's number's going to be called no matter what. There's 8 other guys on the team and possibly 10. It's just the reality of what we do. It's a numbers game. But when you stay professional, when you stay locked in, continue to get your work in, and your number's called, you just want to always make sure you're ready for it. And, to Buddy's credit, he's been the exact same every day. Loud as hell, joking, smiling, walk in, energy fills the room. What's up to everybody? Nothing has changed for him. As much as he's been in the gym always, he's probably in the gym even more now, and so he stayed ready for the opportunity. And tonight, Jimmy going out the lineup right before the game needed someone else to step up, and he did just that.
Will gets that start with Jimmy out. Just what do you think about how Will Rich kind of handled himself? I mean, it sounded like right before the game he was like, "All right, you're starting." What do you think of that?
No one knew. Literally, we were walking in the huddle to draw up the plays to go to tip-off. And he said, "Will, you're in the starting lineup." And he responded. He was ready to go. He brought incredible energy. He's been like that all year. When his number's called, he brings energy to the floor, makes smart plays, smart winning plays. He was a game changer for us tonight. Must be the hair.
Dre, today you led the team in threes attempted and threes made. What about today that really just fell behind the arc?
Well, they put the big kid just in the middle of the paint. And so I want that big kid to know, you guard me like that, I'm going to shoot your face off. That's what we say. And so, yeah. Also, I mentioned after last game that their coach played this gimmicky defense, and I had to make them pay, because I've seen coaches get fired for playing that defense, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to make that his reality if they play us enough. No, I'm just joking. I like Coach Lee. But, yeah, I mean, I have to find a way to keep the defense honest. If I don't keep the defense honest, then that just allows them to load up on Steph even more. And it doesn't allow our offense to flow properly if I don't keep them honest. And so, it was a little egregious. So I just had to let them fly. And it was good to hit 4 of 8.
Thank you. Also, you post-game interview described Al Horford as a Zaza Pachulia-type player on steroids. Can you extrapolate a little more?
Well, no, he's not Zaza type player. I was just more so talking about guys that when you're on the floor with them, for me, I'm always everybody's eyes on the defensive end. I always try to be our best communicator on the defensive end. But in doing that, especially when I'm at the 5, I can't take as many chances because you have to anchor the defense. What I was explaining out there was more so when I'm out there with other anchors, guys that can anchor a defense, then it allows me to play free safety. It allows me to go and muddy something up that a guy's trying to get to. It allows me to roam sometimes. I can see a play and I can just act on it, as opposed to if I'm the 5 and I see the play, can't always just act on it, because if I act on it, who's now got the rim? When I'm in with a guy like Bogut, Zaza, Al, Loon, and they just read the play, and I go and they just slide right over and fill in, it changes my game from a defensive perspective for the better, in my opinion. And so that's more so what I was playing at. But hell no, don't give Zaza that much credit. He's not Al.
Thank you, Joe.
No doubt.
How would you characterize the rhythm that Brandon is in right now?
He's playing really well. He is being aggressive. He's taking what the defense gives him, and he's pushing the tempo. And, we always talk to him about pushing the pace. You come in the game, change the pace up for us. And when the shot's there, be aggressive and take those shots. Get downhill, look for your shot, look to make plays for other people. And he's really figuring it out. He's settled into his role, and he's been tremendous for us off the bench over the last month. He's been playing his best basketball of the season. So, I always talk about it takes time to find the roles. And when also, no one ever talks about how other people missing can impact someone else. And so you got Melt out, you got Al out. How does that impact other people? It does, and so now you're just seeing those lineups come together more, which is allowing everyone individually to do what it is that they do best. And it's kind of fitting and falling in place for us.
Draymond, you've always been a student of the history of the game. I'm curious, having played with Steph for as long as you have. Steph is Steph. Dell had a hell of a career. Seth has carved out his own niche, his own lane. What do you think the family's impact has been on the game, the greater game itself?
Well, I think, like you said, Steph is obviously Steph, but Dell is one of the pioneers. Like, he has that respect amongst everyone, not just like us, or young guys. Like, you see Dell amongst the OGs, the respect is there, and just how he went about his business, obviously how he played the game, and one of the originators of shooting that three ball like that, and so he gets that respect as is deserved, and then obviously what he's passed down or given back to the game, through his offspring, I think makes it all the more special. I always talk about what Pete Myers said to me, how you owe it to the game to leave it in a better place than you found it. That's another example of that. Like that quote doesn't just fit one thing, or that quote transcends over multiple different areas of what we do. And that's another example of that, right? Like your offspring and what he's taught them, how he's set them up to, like Steph has changed the game of basketball. That's a disciple of Dell Curry, and so just what you've continued to give to the game, what he's continued to give to the game as one of the voices of our league on a nightly basis. Like, there's not many people that's been around the NBA as that long and continues to give to the game in different ways, and he's been that. I'm happy that I've gotten the opportunity to be teammates with his sons, both of them, because it's an honor. And so happy he's getting his jersey retired, well deserved. What he means to that organization, it's special to see him be rewarded for it.
Draymond, Steve talked about how the depth of this team has really been one of the successful, or one of the reasons why you guys have been successful lately. They get to within 3 points. I think it was 82-79. You guys go on a 20-7 run, kind of take back control of the game. And you have a guy like Melton who just is the spark and the catalyst of that. And just talk about his presence and what he's meant so far. And did you guys envision this even after when you guys had him last season for only 6 games?
Yes. Spoke about it before, just how our season went kind of way left when he got hurt last year. He was such a good fit, which is why he was one of our top choices this summer. Like, we immediately were trying to get him back here, because we knew the importance of his role and who he is, the basketball player he is, and what he would bring to this team. And he's been exactly that since he's gotten back from injury. So it's definitely what we expected. Do you expect a guy to be this good coming off that injury that fast? I don't know that that's the case, but he is exactly who we thought he was. And he's bringing that on a nightly basis, and